Hey guys, I'm Kern Campbell and you're watching My Jeep and Me. If this is the first time you're watching the channel, My Jeep and Me, we talk everything Jeep, from Grand Wagoneers to Wranglers to Gladiators, anything and everything related to Jeep and the Jeep lifestyle. So if this is your first time tuning in, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell, and hey, do me a favor. This is a pretty new channel, and the only way we can tell other people that we're out there and to share this content is to give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows to share it with others. So if you'll do that for me, I appreciate it.
You're watching My Jeep and Me, where we cover everything Jeep and promote living the Jeep lifestyle.
On the last episode, we got this old 1991 Grand Wagoneer running for the very first time in at least 2 or 3 years, maybe longer. It was sitting outside, it was dirty. In episode 2, we got this thing all cleaned up. I appreciate your help on the smells and the odor. Things are a whole lot better now. I'm gonna try a few more things and from the suggestions you guys gave me, and I appreciate that. Thank you, thumbs up to you guys. But on today's episode, what we want to do is we're going to do a walk around on the 1991 Grand Wagoneer, and we're going to talk about all the things that are wrong with it. Out here, we're in a parking lot not too far from where I live. But before I brought it out here, the first thing I did was I wanted to check the fluids. So we checked the coolant in the radiator, we checked the power steering, we checked the transmission fluid, which this definitely has a transmission leak. We checked the oil, which is brand new oil that we changed. We've changed it with Shell. I'll put something up here showing you what we used. But today, let's go around and let's look at all the things that are wrong with our 1991 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. All right, so it's midday, it's really hot. I came over here to get in the shade under the tree. Hopefully you guys can see me okay with the Jeep in the background. But I want to go through a list of all the things that we're going to need to do to this Jeep to get it roadworthy for the adventure that's coming up. The final series, the final episode rather, of this series is an epic road trip. Should I admit that to you now? I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, let's just go through all the things that this Jeep needs to be roadworthy. Shocks. We definitely need shocks. Right now we're riding on really worn out shocks, and we're sitting there, we're getting all leaf springs. So it actually rides okay for a 1991 leaf spring vehicle, but we want some shocks so that we get that nice dampening. We need a few hoses. So we've replaced 2 or 3 hoses so far. There are a few more that we need to address, so we're going to take care of that. Brakes, so the brakes are good. So the AC compressor. So one of the first things I did, being here in the South, being that it has been in the upper 90s for pretty much what feels like the whole summer, one of the things to be able to drive this is you want to be able to have air conditioning here in the South. And so thankfully it had already been converted, and so all I had to do was fill it up. I filled it up, AC blew nice and cold for 1 day. Unfortunately, that 1 day wasn't enough. You started to see green oozing out of the compressor. Compressor's shot, it's leaking, so we got to replace the compressor. So that's a high priority. The wiper motors, the front windshield wipers, they are D-E-A-D. That spells dead. Kind of like something we're going to discuss in the next episode. A little foreshadowing there. But the wiper motors are absolutely dead. The rear window doesn't work. Surprise, surprise. What Grand Wagoneer have you ever gotten in the first time and the rear window actually worked? For most of us, that rear window is probably the biggest or most common problem that we all face. I do have video on that. If you have that problem, go over to myjeepandme.com and look for how to fix your rear window. I've got an awesome setup that I did on the 1987 with modern electricity, with relays, etc. Also, here on YouTube, there's videos of me working on the rear window and fixing it. So I will tell you, those were some of the earliest videos I shot before having this tripod, and it was all shot here on my cell phone. So I do apologize in advance for the shaky footage, but I'm learning. I'm getting a little bit better. I hope each video I put out is going to be a little bit better. But you definitely want to check that out if you own a Grand Wagoneer, or if you're thinking about a Grand Wagoneer, that's something that's going to be on your list. Let's see. The transmission inspection plate. So we put it up on the lift. My buddy Mark over at Pro Auto, we went through this together, made this list. The inspection plate on the transmission is missing. Don't know, may not have ever been there, but it's not there now. We discussed the wiper motors are dead, the rear window, parking brake. Parking brake works so-so right now. It will hold, but not very well. I crawled under there, and we're gonna need to do a little bit of work on that eventually. Here's a good one, guys. Sorry. So, do you know what holds the gas tank up? Somebody is already knowing where I'm probably going with this. So, there's a skid plate, which is what holds the gas tank in, as I understand it, right? Am I right on that? Somebody tell me. If I'm wrong, somebody leave me a comment and say, no, actually, there are built-in supports. But as I understand it, the gas tank is held in by that skid plate. Well, there's a few bolts missing that are not holding the skid plate in place. Half of them are on, and there's probably 3 or 4 that are missing. So we definitely want to try to secure the gas tank, because the last thing you want to do is be headed down the highway or something and lose your gas tank, and there you go, right? So that'd be bad. Not only is the transmission inspection plate missing, but the transmission leaks like crazy. I don't know the history on this transmission. The engine is a replacement Jasper engine. The engine runs great. First time, once you get it started, you're good, all right? So I'm gonna be able to jump back in there, crank it up, and drive away, no problems whatsoever. However, the transmission, it's a frequent territory marker. One of the jokes, you know, it's not a Jeep if it doesn't leak. Well, this thing does more than just mark its territory and leak. I mean, it'll drain itself in about a month if you just leave it without driving. So the transmission leaks, we're gonna have to address that before it's really roadworthy. All right, so here's another one. I mentioned, I don't know if it'll be in the video or not, but I mentioned the guy that just drove by with a lot of aftermarket exhaust who probably went to Henry's Muffler Shop. Well, we're going to Henry's Muffler Shop too. On the way here, actually, Brown Santa, the UPS guy, pulled up to the house. I saw a Mopar box sitting on the front steps. On Wednesday of this week, we're gonna go and get this bad boy taken care of here. But we have an exhaust leak. When you're driving the Jeep, it sounds like you're running a lawnmower. And if it does smoke, if the engine smokes at all, you see smoke coming out of everywhere. So you got it coming out of the exhaust back here. You got it coming out of that side of the Jeep. You got it coming out over here. You got a little bit coming out under the hood, and that's because right off the manifold, there's an exhaust leak there. There's an exhaust leak back near the catalytic converter and back near the muffler. So we're gonna get that taken care of and make her be able to breathe a whole lot better. Him, her, I don't know. Haven't figured out 001. That's kind of, could go either way, right? Next, yeah, neither rear passenger door opens from the inside. Not that important right now, so it's gonna be a low priority on the list of things to get done before the final episode, but eventually those 2 back doors are gonna need to be adjusted so that they actually unlock and open the doors from the inside. All right, so the driver's seatbelt. This one is gonna be a little bit challenging. I actually hesitate to mention it to you only because we're not sure. This Jeep's pretty rusty. I don't know if the anchor bolt is gonna come out. So there's a shot that we're gonna have to make some adjustments to get that seatbelt to work. Because right now I've got a replacement, and the idea was we were just gonna jack that one out, put the new one in, good to go, and off she goes. But we started talking about how much rust and stuff is on here, and that bolt might just be completely seized up. So I'm gonna hit it with some PB Blaster from underneath and wherever I can get to it, and hopefully that'll free it up, but we'll see. So this is episode 4. In the next episode, the steering wheel on this Jeep, it's terrible. So in episode 5, we're gonna take care of the steering wheel. Nasty looking steering wheel. Oh my goodness. There are definitely some gremlins, possibly with the electrical system. There's a bad drain on the battery. Brand new battery. One day overnight, I didn't unhook the battery. It was dead. Took it back to AutoZone under warranty. They couldn't charge it. They tried to do a charge to it, could not get it, so they swapped it out, thankfully. So AutoZone, appreciate your battery warranty. Put it in, and I've been keeping it on a trickle charger and a maintainer all the time while it's in the garage. I also am making sure I unhook it, because the last thing we want to do is have a fire, right? No fires, no explosions, nothing like that. We did just find we just found some wiring. There's a what is it, the trailer, I'm blanking, guys, help me out. E-trailer, the little trailer, they put the trailer deal on it to run brakes on a trailer. Anyway, we see where some wires have been spliced. Let's leave it at that. We've seen some wires that have been spliced, and it looks like, all right, so that has got to be fixed. There's no way you want to take this thing on a road trip with the electrical looking like that. So we're going to fix that. In episode 3, one of the issues I had when I finally got this started, it took 2 days for me trying to figure out what I was doing, what was wrong. Called a few friends. Justin, again, thank you for getting this thing going for me and helping me know what to do. We got it started, or I got it started, but it didn't turn off. So if you haven't watched episode 3, go back and watch it. I freak out because I don't know what to do. I unhooked the battery, that didn't do anything, and jiggled the key a bunch, and finally it just shut itself off. I don't know what ultimately did it. I tried a bunch of different things. It happened a second time, and there's the little box on the fender well in the driver's side that it's like the brain, the controller, starter, what's it called? I'll just put a picture of it and you'll see what it is. You just disconnect it and the whole thing shuts off. You don't electrocute yourself. Justin, I've got to watch out for you, because if he was here, he would have set me up and let me shock myself trying to get it shut off. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So if that happens to you, I'll put a picture up here so you can see what to disconnect. But we had to pull a fuse to get the electrical issues to stop. You know, basically we pulled the fuse that was tied to the door lights. Somehow it was tied in with the stereo and a few other things. As soon as we pulled that, everything else started behaving better, and it also made it so that every time I turned the key, the car or the Jeep shut off. So I don't know what I have no idea why that did the trick, but it did. So just pulling that one fuse, now when you turn the key off, it shuts off. So I don't know. Do you know why that is? If you do, let me know in the comments, because I have no idea. I'm just thankful that when I turn the key off, it shuts off. When I turn the key on, it starts, and it drives well. And so we've got a lot of work to do. There are also some beautification things that we want to do. Front fog lights are missing on this, so I want to get a pair of proper fog lights on there. Do a little unboxing of some goodies to dress this Jeep up. We've got brand new tail light lenses to clean that up and dress that up. We're missing some chrome around the back. I've actually never seen this. Let me take you around there real quick. I'm gonna grab the camera. Let's go around back here. I have actually never seen this before. So somebody was creative, I guess. So on the rear key lock here, somebody has rigged this up with regular screws. Is this off another vehicle, or is this off the Jeep? It has no attachment point for the swinging cover. I've got a replacement, but I can't figure out what that's off of. So I've been a little bit hesitant to swap this out, even though I've got the part to do it. There's the trim up there around the corner that's missing. So we also have a lot of rust, which we're not going to address today or in this series. We're going to leave that to a highly trained professional, to a body shop. But you can see, let's see, right, if I can get my fingers right in here, there's rust. The rocker panels are crap. Now, I'm going to tell myself, but for the purposes of TV or YouTube or your phone, your iPad, your computer, whatever you're watching this on, to make it a little softer on the eyes. I used a little touch-up paint, especially right back here in the rocker panel, in the quarter panel, and I put just a little bit on the rocker just to kind of fake it, if you will, make it look a little bit better for the camera, so that as it's driving down the road and we're taking footage of this Jeep, all you see, you just don't pay attention as much to the rust, but trust me, it's there. Now, another thing that I've done, which I don't know where the footage is. Another thing that we're going to do, so there's a whole nother episode that I forgot about. So another thing that we're going to do on this Jeep is, see these new tires? These are brand new Hankook white walls. We tried to go with Cooper, but Cooper, they just discontinued their white walls. So now Hankook is the way to go for your white walls, and it's a 235 tire. Pretty good price over at Discount Tire, not a sponsor, but that's what we put on here. That's pretty much a good walk around, and I'll give you some footage of where it is now. We have gotten it all cleaned up. This is it after it's been cleaned, and let's walk around and just take a little view of the Jeep.
If you found this info helpful, make sure to share it with other Jeep owners and check out the blog at myjeepandme.com for more awesome insights like what you've seen today. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.